It's June 2020 and we're on the Mississippi River on the Minnesota-Wisconsin border. I'm fishing for pretty much everything today. You'll see in a second here a walleye that I had just caught. You're also going to see some good-sized pike, a few good bass. I was a little quick on putting fish in back in the water this day. It was getting a little loopy out there. You know, once you've been on the water for so long and it's hot and humid, you just kind of lose sense of what you're doing. And this is still one of those times where I was still pretty new to filming, so I didn't really think about how long something needs to be on the camera, so I apologize for that. But if you've never had the chance to fish this area, I would highly recommend it. It's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever go to, the driftless region on the border there. The Mississippi just goes right through it. You can just tell where it's carved the land through, and there's so many backwaters and so many little adjacent streams and creeks to fish that it's just really an angler's paradise, and it should be on everybody's bucket list. One of the things that I noticed about this area is that fish tend to really relate to wood cover. You can fish a lot of other types of varied cover in this area. You'll find tons of grass mats and different types of weeds and everything else that'll keep you busy, some rock, but I always seem to come back to some kind of timber. And even if there's just a little bit of timber in one of those other types of cover, it just seems to enhance that area and make it you fish just that much better. Like I mentioned earlier, this is one of those places where you can come back and fish a piece of timber multiple times, especially when it's got multiple water lanes coming and intersecting next to it and in front of it. These fish will just hide in that timber and they'll just wait for those bait fish to come by and attack them. And you can see the results right here.
Oh man. Oh my god. What a slob.
Come on, where are you? Give me that. Don't.
That was cool.
This is one of those areas that's really important to throw multiple casts at a piece of cover. These fish are really aggressive, and while the first cast might not always get them, the second or third cast will. You got to keep in mind there's a lot of fish in this system, so they're always competing with other predators for food sources, so it's hard for them to say no.
I'll get out just a little bit.
Another important thing to remember when coming here is that fish location is going to be really dependent upon water levels. Here I'm trying to get back to a place where I had an amazing day and I caught over 50 fish in just under an hour. And due to the lower water levels, I'm not able to get back far enough to where I was, and those fish probably aren't even there anymore. But you won't know until you try.
Good news, by the way. One of my historians that I read had said that this is obviously, just the propaganda arm of the U.S. media trying to, gin up some good stuff. And it says that when the American government or military cabled the Marines on Wake and said, do you need anything? The Marines reportedly sent a message back saying, yes, send more Japs. And the historian said it was very unlikely that they really wanted more Japanese, because after all, in a very short period of time, before the U.S. could mount any kind of rescue or reinforcement operation, they got more Japanese. They got aircraft carriers, an overwhelming force, and they were already running out of ammunition. So they end up having to capitulate in a situation where, and again, they've got this on the belt of heroism, so it wasn't for no reason, but a lot more than that in history lessons at school. I was brought up by my parents and grandparents to accept that this was the natural order of things. End quote. To take on the Japanese, because they're not there to take on the Japanese. They're there to handle any revolts by the Indians, who during this time period are under the control of Britain, are part of the British Empire, although this is the era where Gandhi is rising to the fore. This is the era where he's signaling the transports, does the same thing. They run across the beach, and then they have to stop where the previous wave stops. So you start to get this bunching up effect, where the artillery is just going to have a field day if you can start dropping shells into the middle of this crowd of prone men. Thompson recounts how, and this is the kind of thing that interestingly enough makes it into history books sometimes, how one Japanese soldier suicidally throws himself over the vision slit in one of these pillboxes so that the machine gunner inside can't see for a minute because there's a body blocking the view, so that the Japanese who's just...
Man. Okay. Oh my god, that fish was huge.